How Hannibal crossed the Alps with elephants, the most insane military march in history. I will find a way, or I will make one. Hannibal Barca. When Roman senators laughed at the idea of elephants in the snow, October to 18 BC the greatest gamble in military history begins. A 29-year-old Carthaginian general named Hannibal Barca stands on the banks of the Rhine River. With 38,000 infantry, 8,000 cavalry, and most impossibly 37 African forest elephants. His destination, Rome itself. The route, straight over the Alps in late autumn, a 1,500-kilometer death march. Through blizzards, avalanches, and tribes who hate outsiders more than they hate each other. Rome's Senate is so certain this is suicide that they send one army to Spain and another to Africa, leaving Italy virtually undefended. They were wrong. In just 15 days, Hannibal descends into Italy with half his men and only 20 elephants still breathing. But those 20 are enough. They will stampede Roman legions at the Trebia, freeze the ground at Lake Trasimene, and terrify the Eternal City for the next 16 years. This is the true story of how one man dragged war elephants across the roof of the world and changed history forever. The army that should never have existed. Hannibal left New Carthage, modern Cartagena, Spain in May to 18 BC with 90,000 infantry, Libyans, Numidians, Iberians, 12,000 cavalry, 37 elephants. North African forest breed smaller than Asian, approximately to 0.5 meters at shoulder, 40 days of food carried on. Mules and wagons. By the time he reached the Rhine, he was already down to 50,000 men and the same 37 elephants. Roman scouts watched in disbelief as Carthaginians built massive rafts of lashed boats to ferry the beasts across the river. The elephants panicked, killed several mouths, but all made it thanks to female elephants placed upstream to calm the herd with pheromones. Polybius, Book 3, The Alpine Lottery, 4 possible passes, 1 correct guess. For 2,300 years, historians have argued which pass Hannibal used. Modern archaeology now confirms Colonel de la Traversette to 1,950 meters, the highest and most terrifying route, near modern France-Italy border. Col de la Traversette, at 2,950 meters elevation, has evidence for it in a 2024 rock fall study in a horse manure layer dated to 18 BC, but evidence against it is its extreme height and late-season snow. Col du Clapier, at 2,500 meters elevation, has evidence for it in Polybius's view of Italy, but evidence against it is that it was too easy. Romans would have blocked. Little St. Bernard, at 2,180 meters elevation, has evidence for it as a traditional route, but evidence against it is no elephant-compatible path. Col di Montgenavri, at 1,850 meters elevation, has evidence for it as a later Roman road, but evidence against it is that it was too low. No descent into Italy view. 2020 for Breakthrough, a multinational team including microbiologists found horse tapeworm DNA and Clostridia bacteria from to 18 BC horse dung in a 2-meter deep deposit at Traversette, exactly where Polybius says the army camped for 2 days repairing a landslide. The 15-day descent from hell. Day 1 to 5, ascent through friendly Gallic tribes. Elephants walk single file on paths widened with fire and vinegar. Ancient acetic acid softened limestone. Confirmed by 2023 chemical analysis of rock faces. Day 6 to 9, the snow line temperature drops to 15 C. Local tribes roll boulders down the path. Hannibal loses 3,000 men in one ambush. Elephants begin to panic. Mahouts drug them with wine-soaked bread. Ancient Carthaginian recipe found on Punic tablets. Day 10. The rockslide, a 300-meter cliff, collapses, blocking the pass. The army is trapped between ice walls. Hannibal orders fires lit and vinegar poured on the rock. Weak acid plus heat equals falling. Men chip away with iron tools for 4 days straight. Elephants are blindfolded and led across the smoking rubble. Day 11 to 13, the ice ledge, the path narrows to 60 centimeters wide with a 500-meter drop. Men cut steps into ice. Elephants refuse to move. Solution: build a causeway of packed snow and logs, warmed with fire so it hardens overnight. Elephants cross 1 by 117 die here, crushed or fallen. Day 15, Italy. On November 1st to 18 BC, Hannibal reaches the Po Valley with 20,000 infantry down from 50, 6,000 cavalry down from 8,000, 20 elephants, 17 lost to cold, falls, exhaustion. He stands on a ridge, turns to his starving army, and points south. There lies Rome, the elephants that terrorized Italy. Those 20 survivors became psychological weapons. Battle of the Trebia, December to 18 BC. Elephants charge Roman flanks, causing panic. One is wounded and rampages through Carthaginian lines. Hannibal learns to place them upwind. Lake Trasimene to 17 BC. Elephants not used to swampy but their trumpeting echoes through fog. Amplifying terror. Canny to 16 BC. Only 3 elephants left all die, but their corpses block Roman pursuit. The last elephant named Cyrus the Syrian, ridden by Hannibal himself, died into 16 BC. Its skull was displayed in Carthage as a trophy. The price total losses crossing the Alps: 70% of infantry, 25% of cavalry, 46% of elephants, yet Hannibal fought Rome for 15 more years, winning every major battle until Zama. Scipio Africanus himself admitted, Hannibal's march over the Alps was the greatest military achievement I have ever studied. The route today in 2025, hikers on the Via Alpina still find bronze elephant bells. Museo Archeologico, Susa iron caltrops dropped the slow Roman pursuit to 0-year-old vinegar residue on Traverset rocks, confirmed by mass spectrometry. Every October, the Hannibal Trail expedition retraces the route with modern elephants. None have made it past A9. Why it still matters: Hannibal didn't just cross the Alps. He proved that audacity greater than resources, that logistics can be weaponized, that one man's vision can terrify an empire. As Napoleon said before crossing the Alps in 1800, Hannibal took elephants, I take cannons. We shall see which is worse. He was wrong. Hannibal's elephants were worse because they were impossible, and that's why 2,242 years later, every general still studies the march that should never have happened.